Welcome back to our core anniversary special here at A Late Show. Let's say hello to a man I've missed for a year, John Baptiste. Hello, John.
Hello. Yes, indeed, Stephen. How you feeling?
You know what? Hopeful. I'm hopeful, which is a dangerous feeling because you don't want to get burned. But I mean, things are looking up. Evidently, all adults are eligible for shots by the time we get to May, starting May 1st. Am I right with that? Is that what Biden said last night? That's got to give you a little ray of hope, right there. I'm trying to look on the bright side.
Pull yourself up on the rope of your hope. Come on, let's get it.
I'm just wondering if there's anything about this absolutely devastating year that we've just gone through. Is there anything out of it that was a positive for you in your own life?
I think facing the internal, the things that in our busy lives we may not get a chance to sit and deal with, we're forced to deal with them in this time. So I think that's a positive, actually.
Mm-hmm. That opportunity to take stock.
Yep. And be with those. If we were trapped with those we love, it's also a plus, and I was. So
that's true.
That's a good thing.
And you did it without drinking.
That's right.
That's daredevil behavior, in my opinion. Good for you. Good for you, Evel Knievel.
Well, hey, ride 'em.
Do you have any hopeful music for us tonight?
Yes. Let's see.
Thank you, John. John Baptiste, everybody.
Yes, indeed.
My guest tonight is the chief medical advisor to the White House and the voice of reason who guided us through the past year. Please welcome to A Late Show, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Dr. Fauci, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. Appreciate it.
I've wanted to have you on for a year. We've tried to have you on almost every week for a year. We couldn't ever get you. Around January 20th, your schedule really opened up. What changed?
Everything.
Good. I hope it keeps changing. Now, I got a lot I want to ask you, but the first thing I have to ask you is about what President Biden announced last night, is that by May 1st, all adults in the United States will be eligible for COVID-19 vaccines. How did that come about so quickly? That's much sooner than we thought it would be.
Well, as you probably have noticed over the last couple of weeks, there has been a real concerted effort to get more vaccines available, for signing contracts, for example, with Moderna and Pfizer to get an additional 100 million doses apiece from them to get a total of 600 million doses. J&J, which we originally contract for 100 million doses, a deal was made for yet again another 100 million doses. So it was a question of really making a full court press to get more vaccine available. And as you do, you get through the priorities so that you get to a point where you really have enough to give to everyone. And that pushed it back by a couple of months, which is really good news, which means we likely will have the overwhelming majority of the population vaccinated much, much sooner than we originally had planned.
One of the changes from the previous administration to this one is a sense that the federal government actually has a large role to play in coordinating here. Is that part of it? The fact that President Biden is stating that eligibility for adults will start May 1st. Is the federal government taking a larger role in distribution and eligibility requirements?
In every aspect of the endeavor, Stephen, is that earlier in the previous administration, a lot of discretion, a lot of authority, a lot of decision making was left to the states themselves, which there still is a lot of that too, because the states independently are very important in the implementation. You don't want to be telling them everything to do, but what we have more now is cooperation, collaboration, and what I would call a synergy between the federal government and the states to get things done. And that is really, I think, very good news. I have always felt throughout the previous year that there should have been more interaction in the sense of synergizing instead of saying, here's what you do and go do it. If you succeed, fine. If you fail, that's your problem, which is not, I think, the best way to do it.
Now, for a year now, you've been advising us what to do. Can you advise us how to feel? Because, I mean, there's a change in the air. There really is, as I was saying to John Baptiste earlier. Oh, there's a sense of hope out there, and we don't want to get burned. Can we be hopeful that this is going to come to an end soon?
Well, yes, not only hopeful, you can be absolutely certain that this is going to end and we will get back to normal. The question is when. And I think if you look at what's going on now, particularly with the availability of multiple highly efficacious vaccines that are safe at the same time they're highly efficacious, if we do that together with a gradual diminution of the stringency of the public health measures, you don't want to turn the switch on and off and say, okay, we're doing well, let's stop everything that we're doing regarding public health. We don't want to do that.
But that's happening. That's happening
Yes,
all over the country in
mentioned
various states. People are going, okay, everybody back in the pool. Like what is the calmest way you could speak to the states that have decided that it's over, or at least there's nothing more to be done on their end in terms of mitigating the spread?
Well, I've said that publicly many times, almost on a daily basis, Stephen, is that it is really risky right now, even though the cases are coming down in a very sharp decline. Over the past couple of weeks, it started to plateau a bit. And if it plateaus, it's plateauing at an unacceptably high level, about 50 to 60,000 new infections per day. And every time we've seen a plateau at that level, there's always been the risk of getting yet again another surge. And what we don't want to do is get another surge. We want to keep it coming down. It may not be as sharp as it has been over the last couple of months or so, but if we can, a month or two, if we can get it to come and continue to go down as we get more and more people vaccinated, every day over 2 million people are being vaccinated. If we keep doing that at the same time as we keep a certain amount of the public health measures going, such as everyone continuing to wear a mask and not just saying, hey, things look good, let's just go right back to where we think we should be, which everyone is empathetic with that need to start to get back to normal. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to get all the kids back to school. Everybody wants to get back to work in the workplace and not be working from home so that you can get the economy going. It's going to happen, Stephen. It is guaranteed it's going to happen. But we've got to do it prudently and carefully.
Now, I have been a fan of yours since before it was cool, because I interviewed you almost exactly 10 years ago. It was in March of 2011, and I want to take a look at this clip, Jim. What's going to be the next big, hot news disease? Because we had SARS, we had swine flu, we've had bird flu, and I want to get my graphics department working on the next thing that's going to scare the poop out of these people. Turkey herpes, what's it going to be?
The interesting thing is we don't know. There is always a threat of emerging and re-emerging infections, and one of the real issues that we face is that nature is one of the worst terrorists in that respect. It just comes out of nowhere, a lot of times jumping species from an animal to a human.
I know nature is dangerous. That's why I believe in pollution. Hit them first. Okay? Kill or be killed.
Whatever.
Now, how did the nightmare you worried about compare to the reality of COVID?
It materialized, Stephen, unfortunately for all of us. A continuation of that conversation would have been my worst nightmare is what I initially hinted at in my discussion with you, is a brand new viral infection that jumps species from an animal reservoir to a human, that's respiratory borne, that has two fundamental characteristics. One, it spreads extraordinarily efficiently from human to human. And two, it has the capability of a high degree of morbidity and mortality. And unfortunately for all of us, that's COVID-19, with already 500,000 people in the United States have died 525 million, with 28 million infections that have been documented.
Well, as we showed, you were a voice, not crying in the wilderness, but certainly crying in what can be the wilderness of politics for years over preparing for a pandemic like this. What has it been like, as a man of science, what has it been like over the past year to see facts, scientific research, scientific medical advice politicized rather than utilized?
Well, it's been very distressful and in many respects very painful, because as a physician, a scientist, and a public health official, when you're dealing with a formidable enemy, if you really want to make it metaphoric, the enemy being the virus, the one thing you need is you need everyone pulling together, realizing that the enemy is the virus, not each other. And the worst possible thing, and I've never seen anything like it before, Stephen. I've been involved in a number of outbreaks over the 37 years that I've been the director of the Institute. And I've never seen a situation where there was such intense divisiveness, where simple, common sense, no-brainer public health issues take on a political connotation. Yeah, if you wear a mask, you're on this side. If you don't wear a mask, you're on that side. If you want to congregate, you're on this side. If you don't want to congregate, you're on the other side. That just doesn't make any sense, because the virus is going to do what the virus is going to do, regardless of what your political suasion is, or regardless of how divisive you are. And that was extremely frustrating to see that. It was not helpful. In fact, it was quite harmful.
You've worked for 7 presidents, so it's not the first time that you have had to deal with political considerations, not of your own, but for the people that you're working for. I understand you've used the Godfather as a model of behavior. Do you give presidents an offer they can't refuse? What is this Godfather model?
No, I used it because when people ask me, when you get things like the slights that I've had against me during the past year, how you can continue to function and work in a productive way. And I just used that phrase from The Godfather that Michael Corleone said to Sonny after he had just killed Soloso the Turk, when he says, you know, you're taking things personally. He said, it's not personal, it's strictly business. So that's my motto.
Have you ever fantasized about dumping a horse's head into Rand Paul's bed?
No. But I think he may be a fantasized to doing it the other way with me.
Dr. Fauci, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, I will ask the doctor if he had a choice of each of the 3 vaccines, which would he pick?